If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. One of the things I want to show you about the Metaverse, the or I should just call it the beast reality world that they're creating, is going to be how is it going to get marketed to people so they want to get on board, right? Because obviously we have 8 billion people in this world, and a lot of them are not dorks like the ones who actually want to and currently live in Fortnite reality, mainly extreme liberal type people who are anti-capitalism, anti-free speech, anti-guns, even though they walk around in their virtual world shooting everything 24/7. They're going to have to market this to get people on board. So one of the things, I'm going to show you a few things here, but one of the things that they're doing and they're planning on doing is starting pop-up stores or building actual physical stores. Of course, it's ironic, right? Because we live in a world where every store is just going out of business. I don't know if any of you have been to a strip mall or a mall. You see every store that used to be there going under. You see these videos online of like these dead mall series, and I get it, a lot of the malls are older malls, but even bigger malls are just lots of big stores and chains going out of business. But we'll have this store here. Why? Well, because they need to physically target people, ironically, to set them up to live in a virtual world. So, of course, they'll have these huge, I'm sure, testing areas where people can put on the headsets and they can go into the virtual world and they can have somebody there who's going to, what's your favorite thing? What did you always want to be? And they can transform them into it, and they're going to work them. And, of course, every time they log into Facebook, they're going to get worked with this avatar virtual reality as well. And then you have the crypto tie-in, which is going to be the currency of this metaverse and this beast system, which it's scary to me how many people get offended when I talk about crypto, like they're in love with crypto. They're like, well, cash is evil too. Well, no one's saying cash isn't evil. The simple fact is that the digital currency is the currency of the beast system. It's virtual one world currency. We all know that and all should know that. So don't take it personal when I talk about crypto. Again, if you made a lot of money investing in crypto and all this stuff, good for you. No one's not shot at it. You can't take certain things personal when doing this stuff. There's things that I grew up liking that I know aren't good, and and I should never have watched or liked or enjoyed. And I don't take it personal when people talk about things that I even might still enjoy not being legit or clear or true. So in other words, the crypto fans and crypto supporters are so many. They think it's them stopping the feds, when in reality the feds would never allow this to exist unless they wanted it to exist. So a few of the things I'm going to show you here. One, I'm going to show you a clip right now. This is of how they're going to start marketing this as a new life for people. A new life, and a life where you could hang out with celebrities. Everybody's on an equal playing field. You don't have to go to some exclusive Met Gala to run into a celebrity and pay $40,000 a head to sit at a table. You could just go into the virtual world and bump into Justin Bieber and have a beer with him in virtual reality. Sounds about as appealing as laying in a dumpster that's getting set on fire.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just knock out this monster in a semi-real, semi-virtual world? And just moments after, you could explore such impressive ancient places. Facebook promises that you will be able to do just that in 5 to 10 years in its so-called Metaverse. Whether this is just another ploy to get money off you, and if it's technically possible at all, is what we'll be explaining now. Dancing at a live concert virtually, or digitally meeting friends who live on the other side of the world at a party. And perhaps just casually meeting up with Justin Bieber and joining him for a drink. Wouldn't that be awesome? These are all Facebook's visions for a metaverse that is supposed to grow step by step. How serious Facebook takes this all can be seen by its recent change of name into Meta. It's all a bit Ready Player One, The Matrix, or Star Trek holodeck. In the next 5 to 10 years, Mark Zuckerberg wants to establish this as part of the mainstream. It's a very ambitious goal. So far, virtual reality is mostly used by gamers and geeks, and only those that can afford it. You'll probably know some of the precursors to Metaverse. The online platform Second Life, where you can live a whole other life, to Pokemon Go, which was a huge hit a couple of years ago and which also received an augmented reality mode upgrade, to the PlayStation 4 VR game Dreams, which allows players to do anything from minigames to creating virtual art. But Facebook/Meta wants to go even further. So far, all there is are nice computer animations for advertising, but the company isn't starting from scratch. In 2014, it took over the VR goggles producer Oculus. And just recently, the augmented reality goggles Ray-Ban Stories were released. Meta is currently working on new AR goggles with the codename Project Nazare. There's already the virtual world Horizon. It consists of Horizon Home, a virtual living room that lets you invite online friends. It also includes Horizon Workrooms, a VR surrounding for business meetings.
So that's one of the ways, new life. That's going to be something you hear coined. A second life, a new life. A reality that's not depressing. It's your reality. Everything can be whatever you want it to be. You. Me. That's going to be one of the ways that they do this, is by pushing that. And again, remember, we live in a world now where they're constantly talking about depression, mental health, and these things. And obviously, the mental health thing ties into a lot of what they want to do with people like me and you, and getting us into prison cells because they say that we're not mentally healthy because we believe in conspiracy. But also, they're creating a world that people just don't want to be a part of. That people are just miserable because they're destroying everything, and nobody can figure it out. They're just like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so depressed. Well, you're having chemicals dumped on you. You're eating chemicals for breakfast. You're eating chemicals for lunch. You're having chemicals come through your air-conditioned vent because they're getting dumped on from the skies. I mean, yeah. And then you look around at the world and you're constantly hearing all this stuff. You got to wear your mask, story after story fear, story after story depression. So it'll be an easy way for them to market by talking about you can escape this reality that they're deliberately destroying. Remember, the Great Reset, the destruction of this reality to get people into that reality, bringing over what's on the other side, destroying this world. And of course, them thinking that they're going to be immortal and live forever in this fantasy land. And I mean, I don't understand how this could look appealing to anyone. I mean, it just looks like a nightmare to me. And you might say, well, you're not into gaming and any of that stuff. Who would want to? I mean, what do you have to convince your brain? How do you convince your brain that when you're in this virtual reality that it's real, and they're going to make men attracted to other animes and women attracted to I mean, it's going to be an insane asylum, and it's getting worse by the day here. Well, we're not even at the tip of the iceberg yet, because when this starts getting pumped out, which it is now, it's like the article I showed you, they're preparing to have storefronts. The only purpose of the storefront isn't to sell the product, physically to you, because they can do that online. It's to sell you on this new reality. And I've been talking about this, buying millions of dollars in virtual real estate. People are doing this. Buying clothing in a virtual world. It sounds insane to the normal, but apparently to these people, this is a big thing and big business. Makes a lot of money. The NFTs and all that stuff. If you're not familiar, it makes a lot of money. Big brands like Nike, they're selling virtual clothing. Don't ask me, how this could be appealing at all. But I'm watching, I'm trying to catch up on some of this stuff because there's 8,000 things that I cover. And, being in Nerdland isn't really, something I was expecting to happen this soon. This nerd reality, this virtual world, even though I've been talking about it for a while. But now catching up with, what is the mindset of the youth out there? And they literally tell them it's like more important in this nerd reality to have cool clothes there than it is here in the real world.
Have a special occasion. They actually asked me to buy them Robux, which is a digital currency inside Roblox, right? And they use it to buy avatar skins, and the way they look in game to them is almost as important as the way they look in real life.
I mean, that's scary, right? To look cooler in the fake world. And this is the stuff that they're going to do. And by having storefronts all over the country, offering incentives for people to come in, to check it out, and then customizing virtual experiences for them, which is what Facebook/Meta is going to do, customize virtual experiences. Well, where did you always want to be? Oh, I always wanted to live in the mountains in a log cabin, or I wanted to live on the beach in Maui. And then boom, they put the glasses on you, they put you there. No, I always wanted to date, so-and-so, some model or whatever, even though it's probably a trans. And they put the person in there with you. I mean, this will be how and people will just be like, oh my goodness, I thought it was like, something else, and I could have this whole new life. I could be married in this world to a supermodel trans instead of being, in this world with my real physical family. And trust me, marketing it that way and marketing it as a new life, these people are going to want it. So the metaverse is something that everybody should be keeping their eye on, because celebrities are endorsing the NFTs. I've already covered that, and they're endorsing crypto. And that should be a telltale sign for a lot of people out there who endorse crypto to understand that celebrities are not on your side. If they're endorsing it, they're engineering it. And them engineering it means this is what the elites want. That's the whole job of the celebrity, to engineer it and endorse it to get the masses on board with it, right? And again, I've talked about it over and over. Go to a store, you'll see a sign. Go to 5 stores today, I guarantee you'll see one sign that says exact change only. We don't have cash, not accepting cash, because the distribution of cash is being cut off. So they're getting people prepped for this. And then in this reality, you will only be able to buy or sell if you're hooked up to this world. And you're going to be physically hooked up to it. This isn't going to be wearing the goggles, taking them off, going back and forth. It's going to be physically attached to you. People are going to be physically connected. They talked about that at the Great Reset. I've been talking about it with the graphene, getting this inside of people's bodies, then having them connect to it, and then being able to buy or sell in this virtual world. You will have to be a part of this reality, or you will not be able to buy or sell or anything else. So this is where we're headed in this wonderful time to be alive in 2021. Oh man, it's like the Lawnmower Man on acid. And some of these other movies I've covered over the years, but this is what it is, and this is what we've got to keep. You got to keep plugging along. That's all you can do. You got to endure. We're all asked to endure. We must endure, and you got to be vigilant and aware of this stuff, because it's happening right in front of our faces. And some people want to deny it. Look, if it makes you feel better to deny it, go ahead. I don't like to live in fantasy land. I don't like to live a naive reality, thinking I'm not optimistic. People, they're always just like, gosh, you're so not optimistic. Everything's just the what do they say? The glass half empty with you, Call. And everyone I know. And I'm like, well, I'm not naive. I don't try to tell myself that something's going to be wonderful. I'd rather set myself up for the worst so I'm prepared. And, most of the time in my life, it isn't wonderful. So go figure, right? But hey, that's life. This reality is not made for us, those who have faith, those who believe in the King of Kings. This is not our world. We are not in love with the things of this world. We don't, love this. We have to endure this and hopefully wake people up to what's happening. So I'll keep informing you on this stuff the more I see. When I see articles like this pop up, that they're going to have physical stores, I feel it's important to let you know, because you have to see how they're going to start marketing this, right? The new life, no depression, whatever reality you want, physical stores so they can give you your physical experience, at least customized, I should say, experience, so that you can have your Fantasyland reality, and then they could keep marketing you with it so you want it, and you get on board with it. Because that's what they do. Repetition, beat it into your head, seduce you with their crap. And that's why, everybody's hooked up to the internet. That's why you can't go out without people on their cell phones. No one ever even looks at you in the eye anymore. I don't, it's a really ugly, scary world. But they tell you on the TV, love, 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 everything's great. And these zombies are like, yeah. And they don't even live in this world. They live in La La Land. Reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. Again, I put up a new video today about this incentivized program for 5 to 11-year-olds. Very important you check it out if you haven't. I hope most of you will join the website at some point in time. I appreciate those of you who are over there. Of course, I understand if you can't join, but there's a reason for, there being a price tag on it. It keeps the trolls out and things like that. And, it's commercial free and everything else like that. So it's a good forum. And obviously you have to pay for the data, the memory to be able to put up as much stuff as you possibly can, as much video as I want to put up and all that. So it's definitely worth it if you haven't checked it out. If you have and you didn't like it, you could always give it another shot, but it's understandable if you don't. Perfectly fine. But thank you guys for being over there, and thank you to the Patrons. Because of you, it keeps me here on YouTube, so make sure you thank the Patrons for their support. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you guys again just for your support and for being here. God bless all of you and your families.